Oh my god, the chords! I would do anything to swap places with you. Jesus. So powerful. This video is very kindly sponsored by Distrokid. I'll be talking about them more later in the video. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dan, aka Lucent. I'm a music producer and a songwriter, and today I'm going to be discovering Kate Bush. So let's go. Okay, so I've been thinking about doing Kate Bush for a while. A bunch of you were requesting her. Particularly, I think Bjork fans seem to be requesting her quite a lot. And I was like, oh yeah, she seems like a good one, a good artist who's kind of ripe for this like discovery treatment. And then Stranger Things came out. And the Running Up That Hill has become a hit again. It's number 8 in the UK charts this week. It was a massive deal. And I watched it, and this scene that everybody's talking about, I won't give spoilers. If I talk about it later, then I'll make sure to do a little spoiler warning. But the scene which features that song is incredible. I was there, I was clapping at my laptop like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I can understand like why it's really connected people to the emotion of that song and really kind of brought it back in such a big way. And so I thought, okay, this is it. This is my sign from above that I need to do Kate Bush next on the channel. Yeah. And so here we are today. I'm going to be discovering Kate Bush. I went to my dad to ask for recommendations because that was his era, and he's a Kate Bush fan. So he's given me a bunch of recommendations, and then I chose a couple more popular ones. Like there's new stuff that I've never heard, a few bits that obviously like I've heard around, but I've never really dug into Kate Bush properly. As with all my reactions, it gives me a chance to really dig into the artist properly, get into the lyrics, get into the meanings, understand the production, really understand the songs on a deeper level, more than just hearing them on the radio in the background. We've got, all the classics. We've got Wuthering Heights. We've got Running Up That Hill. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy. But before we get started, if you like the sound of all that kind of stuff, my reactions are all from this perspective, all about lyrics, all about deep meanings, all about that. If you like all that kind of vibe, then make sure to subscribe to the channel for all this kind of content, plus my own music. Woo! Yeah, and make sure to give this video a like if you like it too, because it really helps in the algorithm. This video is sponsored by Distrokid once again, and I thought this week I would talk about a particular feature from them, which is called Hyperfollow, which has had a few updates in the last few months. Once you've uploaded your music to Distrokid, it will automatically create your Hyperfollow page to the places where your music is streaming, so that you have like a easy way to point your followers to listen to your music in the place that they already listen to music. But what they've now done is they've added a few extra things, including embedding YouTube videos. So I'm going to show you mine. So you'll be able to see it. It will be up on the screen. I don't know why I'm telling you that. So I click on my link to my Hyperfollow page and it comes up with my song Criminal. So here you've got all the links to all your streaming services. You can edit it as much as you want. So actually I've got a little bio, but the coolest thing that I really like is that now I actually have my lyric video embedded on my Hyperfollow page. It's one less link that people have to click through and potentially not listen to your song because it's right there. And yeah, so it's really customizable and really handy and a really good reason to sign up. If you do want to sign up for Distrokid, you can get 7% off your first year using my VIP link. Boop. The link is in the description. Cool. Right, let's move on to the video. So I've got 8 songs for you from across her discography. One suggested mostly by my dad. So the first one we had to do was Wuthering Heights. So this is song number 1. Bring. Yeah, her voice is mad, isn't it? You had a temper like my jealousy. Hated you. It's just so unique. I think it's probably why everybody was like, what? Sat up and pay attention. Ugh, that's so good. I'm Kathy, I've come home. Such a good tension builder as well, and released to the chorus is so great. Oh God, musically it's so cool. Oh, the bass is so well written as well. See, this is where it seems to kind of transition into a new key, doesn't it? And it means that it gives this chorus such a lift. Yeah. The way in which they use that key change is quite subtle because it maneuvers in the bridge, but it still provides this real lift when it goes into that chorus. It's really just spectacularly written. So fabulous. It just makes you want to do this. That is kind of Kate Bush, isn't it? Like this. The guitar has a very similar timbre to her voice, doesn't it? Maybe that's on purpose. There's just such a kind of ethereal brightness to it. Love it. Oh, there's kind of like it's like an otherworldly presence that's like rooted in really, really strong human emotion and really strong relatable storytelling. I think it kind of feels otherworldly because her voice is otherworldly, and also because the chords go to unexpected places. You know, the verses kind of, is it like Phrygian maybe? It's a funny mode that kind of gives it a sense of familiarity but with an edge of weirdness. But then when it moves into the chorus, it becomes something much brighter and much more recognisable. And it's in tandem with the lyric, "It's me, I'm Kathy, I've come home." It's like, here I am for you. In tandem with the brightness of the movement of the chords, it really has this kind of homecoming feeling. Really optimistic and really beautiful, and kind of really hammers home that story. It's so perfectly balanced between this sense of familiarity. Let's look up the lyrics. I know obviously it's based on the book. I've never actually read the book, so you have to tell me what the storyline is. On the wily winding moors we'd roll and falling green. Something. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hot, too... Oh, that's great, isn't it? You had a temper like my jealousy, too hot, too greedy. How could you leave me when I needed to possess you? Oof, oof. His temper meant that he left her, and her jealousy meant that she couldn't believe that he would do that. She needed to possess him. It's me. I'm Kathy. I've come home. I'm so cold. Let me in your window, Heathcliff. It's me. It's Kathy. She's telling the story. I'm assuming it's the story of the romance in the book of these two characters, and he leaves her and she feels lost. She's wandering around the moors and is completely lost without him. And it's kind of in this kind of like, you know, slightly weird place that she finds herself in the verse, and it's like she's lost and the music sounds like she's lost. But then when it goes into the full chorus that is much more settled, she's come home, she's outside the window waiting for him to let her in. She doesn't resolve the story. She doesn't tell us whether Heathcliff actually lets her back in. Like, obviously I appreciated that song before, but like I knew it was a classic, but I think until you really kind of listen to it properly and understand the lyric and how it ties up with the chords and with the musical storytelling and all that kind of stuff, you don't really get an appreciation for what a strong storyteller she is. It's fabulous. Okay, let's go on to the next song. So song number 2, this is The Kick Inside. My dad recommended it to me, saying that it was one of the best. So yeah, let's listen to it. I'm assuming it's about like pregnancy, like the kick inside, like the kicking of a baby. Oof, what lovely piano. Fuck. Oh, that's the minor fourth, isn't it? Oh, it's giving it all in a moment for you. Oh, oh, just the movement of the chords is just perfection. Oh. And those strings have so much feeling to them. Oh, those strings are stunning. Oh my god. Ugh. Really feels like there's sacrifice for love, isn't there? Which is so beautiful. Oh, that piano's fucking amazing. Ugh. I just can't cope with the chords. It's so good. Oh my god, the chords. There's, oh my god, I just like the instrumentation of this is just, so stunning. The way those strings just hang over the top, the chords are just stunning. And then that movement there, oh my god, it makes me really want to like study the chords. and steal all of the theory. Is that the end? Oh my god, as if that's the fucking end. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Fuck. Oh my... That was wonderful. Oh my god, what a stunningly written song. Like, that ending felt like partial resolution, but not complete resolution, right? Like, you were expecting it to go down to that final chord, but it didn't. And that is mean. Oh. God, there's just so much I could say about the instrumentation of that. I felt like every single instrument was played with the utmost care, the utmost feeling and passion. Every single part of it kind of came together to create something that was kind of inexplicably human, just beautiful, like a beautiful extension of the human soul, you know, in the way it was played. And the way it was sung, of course, like, her voice is beautiful. Yeah, fuck me. Okay, let's have a look at the lyrics. I've pulled down my lace and the chintz. Oh, do you know you have the face of a genius? I'm giving it all in a moment or two. I'm giving it all in a moment for you. I'm giving it all, giving it. This kicking here inside makes me leave you behind. Your sister, I was born. You must loose me like an arrow shot into the killer storm. It seems to be about family. There's a lot of references to family, right? Like, you know, about, you know, Zeus, like the god, like all of the Greek gods were like considered like a big family. And then there's the thunder and everything. That's all like those kind of references. So there's something to do with her and her sister, her relationship with her sister. I'm not exactly sure the specific story of this one. It's so beautiful. Maybe it's a love song to her sister, maybe it's a love song to her future child, I'm not sure. Like, this kicking here inside, you know, maybe I have a baby to focus on, so I'm going to be leaving you behind, but although you have to now let me go, still remember that we'll always be family. So yeah, I mean, it certainly represents a very beautiful emotion for her, and I think it's stunning. Let's go on to the next one. This is song number 3. This is what we're doing. We're doing A Woman's Work. Let's go. I might have heard this one. I think I've heard a cover of this. Yes, I have heard this one. I heard the cover that was in Romeo and Juliet. I actually used to sing this in my singing class. God, you can call. Maxwell. That's the person, yeah. Now his part is over. Now starts. So fucking stunning. What an incredible songwriter to come up with stuff like this. Incredible, like Jesus. I know you have a lot of strength. Oh yeah. Oh, God, I've got fucking chills. I'm gonna have chills through the whole video. Jesus. Oh, it's such a slow build into that moment, isn't it? It's so stunning. Timeless, really. Maybe it's about somebody's growing up. Or maybe it's about somebody dying. But I can't let that show to you because I need to be strong for you. Jesus. So powerful. Oh. Oh, all the regrets. It's amazing. God. Oh. Wow. I don't think I really understood the meaning of that song back when I had the cover version. I actually worked on the cover version in singing lessons ages ago, and I never really understood the lyrics, I don't think. I mean, at that point, I'd never really lost anyone, and maybe that's why I don't understand. Like, now I understand, you know. It's a song about regret, isn't it, you know? All the things I should have said, all the things I should have done. I should have told you, you know, how much you meant to me. We should have done more stuff together. And there's no kind of resolution for those feelings. He just kind of wants it all to go away. Like, I think the thing that killed me is that, you know, I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. You know, it should be like grieving, but like, I can't let it show. I have to be strong for you. God, so incredibly written. Like, it just has this such kind of ethereal kind of presence. It has a very loose kind of structure, but it gives it so much weight when it moves in, because like it starts so loose that when it actually then starts to have this like intention, the repeated lyrics, I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this, just let it go away, it means that it just keeps building and building and building and building and building until she just says, make it go away. And it's like the amount of emotion that is built up in those moments just to kind of tip it all off with just make it go away is just completely heartbreaking, and at the very core of like what it is to feel grief. I think it's very well crafted in holding the momentum throughout the song. I think the melody and the rhythm of the lyrics means that it doesn't ever lose the tension, means that you're still in it, so that when she takes you back up into that big crescendo, it's just incredibly satisfying and beautiful. It's like a kind of beautiful wave, that crests. And actually, that is even more incredible when you think about how grief hits you in waves and how the song also hits you in waves. It's just incredible. Oh my God. Let's have a look at the lyrics just to see. I mean, if I've got like the wrong end of the stick, then. Pray God you can cope. I stand outside this woman's work, this woman's world. Oh, it's hard on the man. Now his part is over. Now starts the craft of the father. I'm not sure what that first thing is referring to. Give me these moments back. Give them back to me. Give me that little kiss. Give me your hand. Fuck me. Oh my God. This is like so much for me to deal with. Okay, let's come to the next one. Bloody hell. This is song number 4, another dad suggestion. This is Rolling the Ball. Oh. It's not called Rolling the Ball, Dad. It's called Them Heavy People. So let's go. Okay, I can understand why it's called Rolling the Ball. A little bit more light, this song. Ooh, I like the syncopation and the toms. Nice. This kind of song seems to kind of have like a kind of relaxed, kind of doo-woppy kind of feel, but interrupts it occasionally, which is really cool. Maybe it's about kind of like the attitude of like life, continuing the ball rolling, circle of life, kind of going about your daily life, that kind of thing. Which is maybe why the people feel heavy, Oh, I just, that drum fill is great. Those heavy people hit me in the soft spot. Not sure what that's referring to. Ooh, cool. This song is really going between kind of like settled and a bit weird, That male voice is weird. Them heavy people hit me in the soft spot. Maybe it's like feeling sorry for people who are kind of a bit going through the motions, Yeah, I appreciated that one. It really shows off like her kind of playfulness, her kind of the kind of alien ethereal kind of thing that she has with her voice, and like contrasting it with a kind of like ploddy kind of vibe. That's why it's kind of giving me that sense of like people going through the motions, looking at society and thinking, people aren't living their lives, they're just going through the motions, going day by day, rolling the ball, continuing on, pushing the ball up the hill until they die. And she kind of feels sorry for them, but that's kind of why it kind of seems like there's like a ploddiness, like an everyday repetitive ploddiness that's kind of interrupted by the insanity. And I think that's kind of this situation's insane, for people to have to go through the motions every day and to not really live their lives properly is insane, and they must be going insane. Those little moments with the toms and with the other strange moments represent those moments of insanity, I think. Rolling the ball, rolling the ball, rolling the ball. They arrived at an inconvenient time. I was hiding in my room in my mind. So now I take the opportunities. Wonderful teachers ready to teach me. I must work on my mind, for now I realise every one of us has heaven inside. So it's like, although there are loads of people who kind of struggle and like like are just going about their lives, actually there is beauty in every single person. Every single person has something to give. It's a belief in the people. Although there is this kind of repetition to society, she has belief in these people, you know? Yeah, quite a broad topic. Very fascinating, very interesting. And again, amazing how she represents what she's trying to say with the movement of the music. Oh God, she's amazing. I know this is like, I'm like 50 years late, but she's amazing. Jesus. Okay, let's go on to the fifth song. This is Babooshka, which I have heard, but I've never really sat down and actually properly listened to it. So this song, I think, has the witchiness that people know her for. Babooshka. It's creepy, isn't it?
You knew exactly what to do to fool him. She
Pseudonym to fool him.
and he received the will.
She's tricking him.
His wife, but
Ooh, maybe it's like somebody tempting somebody into an affair.
flew by.
Ooh.
She sang the letter
Oh,
Babooshka.
what a great movement into the chorus. That's so satisfying.
She
I love those low vocals. Babooshka.
when he
Ah.
reminds him of his little lady.
It's definitely like an affair, isn't it? Babooshka, babooshka, babooshka. I love that movement into the chorus. It's so satisfying. Ah. Nice. What is that breaking? It's like breaking plates or something? Nice. Maybe Babooshka is like the spell. Well, that's a great sound, isn't it? Like they've like taken out all the low end of some like really fast guitar. Oh yeah. Loads of breaking plates or something. That's like, maybe that's the home wrecker, right? Oh, so good. Oh, okay, so it's about the wife. Okay, there's something to do with the wife. She wanted to test her husband. She knew exactly what to do. A pseudonym to fool him. She couldn't have made a worse move. Okay, but how she was before the tears, how she was before the years flew by, and how she was before she was beautiful. She signed the letter, all yours, Babooshka, Babooshka, yeah, yeah. So she's kind of telling the story of this wife who is like, maybe like trying to test her husband, trying to see if he would fall for a temptress, you know, for like some kind of like strange exotic person, and maybe, you know, testing his love for her. And she's like, actually, shit, it worked. And I don't think she's very happy with that. It's taking her back to before the years flew by, reminding of what it used to be. And then she took it even further to see if he would fall for her incognito. When he laid eyes on her, he got the feeling that they had met before, just like his wife when she was beautiful. He shouted out, I'm all yours, Babooshka. Okay, so it's kind of like a cautionary tale, isn't it? You know, like this wife is like pretending to maybe like cast, it seems like quite witchy, seems to cast a spell on herself, make herself appear as a different person to try and see whether she could make her husband fall for her again, because maybe their marriage has got to a point where like he doesn't really find her attractive anymore, or like they don't get on anymore, and she's like, can I reignite this flame by trying to appear as somebody else? And it kind of works, and she's not sure whether that's a good thing or not, because it isn't her, you know, but it reminds her of like how they used to be when they first met. So she's kind of torn, you know, but it is a cautionary tale because like he does fall for this new person, even though it is her. I love how it's like just like a real story that is just told from start to finish. It feels like a little fable. And I love how the production there, to me, it sounded like breaking plates. And I think that was intentional to kind of signify this, almost like breaking her own home, you know, this kind of idea of a home wrecker. Maybe she broke the plates herself, she did it to herself. Maybe it's the break of the plates. We're thinking about like Greek weddings where they break plates to celebrate a marriage. So it's maybe like thinking about when they got married, you know, thinking back, you know, that memory, all these kinds of things. There's all sorts of different references that can mean. Oh, fuck. Isn't that so clever? Jesus. It's genius. Okay, I get it now. I get it. I understand. She's a genius. I'm sorry I haven't listened to more of her before. Apologies. Let's go on to the next one. This is the 6th song chosen, and this is The Man with a Child in His Eyes.
I hear him focus on the
conscience.
Nobody knows about my man. Listening to a man I never known before. He's here again.
Oh, God.
Man with a child in his eyes.
Oh, wow. Maybe she's describing her love for this man, and how he has, like, you know, embraced his inner child, you know.
He's always waiting.
Ugh.
Never hesitate. We're doing a here. Maybe I just took a trip on my love for him.
I just took a trip on my love for him. Oh, fuck.
Child in his eyes.
Oh, I love that. Stunning. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Like, it sounds like a love song to me. It seems like she's kind of obsessed with this guy, but she's not sure where he's at. But he keeps coming back, and when she looks at him, she sees the child in his eyes. She sees the innocence. She sees the beauty. She sees how this man is special and has embraced his inner child and is different. So beautiful. Like, she just knows exactly where to take the next chord. And it's not always obvious, but it is always perfectly chosen to represent exactly which part of emotion she wants us to feel. It's like she's just so in tune with the music. It's so natural, and yet still so surprising. And it is down to her intuition, you know, like it sounds completely intuitive. She's not gone like chord 5 should follow chord 6 should follow chord 4 should follow chord 1 or whatever. She's gone, what feels right? What am I singing? What am I, like, how do I feel? And, like, playing the chord that resonates with that feeling in her soul. It's just f***ing amazing. Let's have a look at the lyrics and see if I've got the wrong end of the stick. I hear him before I go to sleep and focus on the day that's been. Nobody knows about my man, they think he's lost on some horizon. But suddenly I find myself listening to a man I've known before, telling me about the sea, all his love is till eternity. Maybe he doesn't love me, I just took a trip on my love for him. So, I mean, it could be referring to God, like maybe a religious thing. I haven't known her to be religious. I haven't heard much of that in her other songs so far. But to me, like, the story it's telling me is this, like, thing that she's fallen in love with somebody, maybe that she already knew from before, but she's noticed new things about them, and now she's kind of lying in bed awake thinking of him, dreaming of him, and hoping that he'll come back to her. And then when he does, she's reminded of the child within his eyes, the beauty within him, and this kind of sense that he's maybe a special kind of man and somebody who's really managed to embrace his inner child, and that's something that she seems is very, very beautiful. But then there's the hesitation, so she is unsure, isn't she? Amazing. Cool. Okay, let's go on to the penultimate song of this video. This one wasn't actually suggested by my dad, but was one of the top listed songs for her on Spotify and on a couple of, like, you know, best Kate Bush songs lists. So I thought I would go with this one. This is Cloudbusting. Oh. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love the intensity of this. Wow. Oh, I love this movement. This is great. Ooh, nice. It's like, there's an optimism there, isn't there? Don't know when, and something good is going to happen. I love the strings. That single string works really nicely as well. I can't hide you from the government. I love these drums here are really satisfying, especially since we haven't really had like a full drum rhythm for most of the song. It's like just the snare and the kick and the strings, so it really fills that in. It's nice. I love the tension in this. It really kind of like holds you there, doesn't it? Oh, huh, your sun's coming out. Just saying. I'm not sure whether that's intentional or not. This is the 80s. Wow. The drums here as well. just gone up that extra level, you know? It really feels like it's building towards something. It's just like definitely a different vibe. Though she does like have a real command over dynamics, doesn't she? And this song also has that, you know? But it's slightly longer, you know? It's a slower build. Wow, that was really interesting. That was a really different vibe. I suppose because this is from the Hounds of Love album. Really love the instrumentation. Again, like the strings were fabulous. Like, and I love how it slowly built up. It kind of felt like at the beginning it was, you know, had the intensity of those strings, and it really did give it attention the whole way through. But the drums were really clever because it started off with just the kick and the snare, keeping it going. And in the first chorus, it had the dum 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 dum, like toms coming in to give it a bit more like presence for the chorus. But it wasn't really until the repeats at the end that it then started to bring in like more fully formed, almost like marching band kind of percussion and like drums. It's very subtle, but like slowly layers upon layers and upon layers kind of build up to this like a slow crescendo, which is really satisfying to listen to. Really well, nicely done, as if it like matches with the lyrics, which I'm sure it definitely will. I dream of Orogonon. I wake up crying, you're making rain. What made it special made it dangerous, so I bury it, forget it. Something psychological, something about trauma. Every time it rains, you're hearing my head, like the sun coming out. There's like a conscience, like a positive conscience in her head. Oh, I just know that something good is going to happen. So she's singing to her dad. I can't hide you from the government. I'm not sure what this is about. Seems to be like a unique story. Yeah, and then that key line for me. And every time it rains, you hear in my head like the sun coming out, like your son's coming out. I don't know. Like, to me, it sounds gay. As everything does. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you'd, in 1985 when this was made, you wouldn't be able to say, like your son's coming out without it having that connotation, I don't think. Maybe she's taking place of a boy talking to her father, and kind of her father being like a positive influence in her head, even when things are kind of going wrong and the government's coming for them. I don't know. And maybe like she's kind of like hinting at this fact that maybe the son is gay, and maybe he's, you know, actually taking the positivity and optimism that he takes from his father in order to be himself. I'm not sure. But it's very interesting, isn't it? We've been cloud busting, Daddy. Your son's coming out. Your son's coming out. Oh, it's got to be gay. It's got to be gay. I like that. Yeah, it's nice. Before we go on to the final song, if you have liked this video, then make sure to click the like button and make sure to subscribe for more reactions of this vibe, and make sure to ring the bell for notifications too, so you know when all my videos come out. Also, if you want to support me even further, I actually have a Patreon, and through Patreon you can access all of my videos. With the Weeping Wendy's, you can access the uncut version of my video a week in advance, or if you just want to sign up to the first tier, the Crying Club, you get my videos on the Tuesday instead of on the Friday, the edit. So yeah, so if that takes your fancy, then click through to the Patreon. So next week's video is a same day reaction to Conan Gray. So it'll be a bonus uncut reaction. So if you want to see my uncut Lana Del Rey reaction, you can do so by clicking through in the link in the description and signing up for the Patreon. Let's go on to the final song. I've saved it for last because it's the song of the moment. This is Running Up That Hill. Let's go. These drums. Oh, and that synth. There's really something about it, isn't there? It feels like a slog, doesn't it? It's like pushing forward. You and me. Oh. We're running up that road. I would do anything to make that deal with God to swap our places. Oh my god, I've got chills all over me. This is just such a special song. There's just something about it that is just so visceral.
There is thunder in our hearts.
It's thunder in our hearts. It's like a painful passion, isn't it? Oh.
Tell me we both matter.
Wow. Do we matter? Please tell me we do. Oh. There's just something about that line. God. Just I would do anything to swap places with you. Maybe someone's hurting and in pain, and she's like, I wish I could take that on for you. You know? Oh, come on. Let me take it from you. Let me take the pain. Oh. Oh. It's just incredible. That central like is going the whole way through, and it feels like you're running for your life, you know? Running for someone else's life. No problems. Oh my god. Those backing vocals are really giving it so much more weight. If I only could, I'd be running up that hill with no problems. Wow. Oh. Kind of like a monstrous lower voice there. Pitch shift thing. Amazing. Oh my god. I just like, why is it taking me so long to sit down and listen to these songs properly? You know, that song is just something so special. It feels like she's captured lightning in a bottle. It feels like she's captured that feeling so pristinely. You can't help but feel her anguish and her pain and her thinking, if I only could, I would make a deal with God and tell him to swap our places. I would take that pain from you and that would solve everything, because I don't want you to be suffering. You know, it's just so central to that feeling of loving somebody so much that you would take on their pain for them. And to me, it sounds like she's singing to somebody who's maybe sick and who maybe can't, you know, maybe literally can't run up that hill. And she's saying, I would take all that sickness on for you, and I would push through, and I would keep going, and I would run, and I would do anything just to take that pain from you and to heal you. And there's just something so central about that to like human emotion and human love. So incredible. And to put it in a song and to really centralize it around this sense of running, this sense of motion, you know, dum 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 dum, it the whole way through, constant. It gives you this sense of running with no end. It's like she's running up that hill, and that hill's going to go on forever, because actually she can't take the pain away from that person. That's not real. She's going to keep pushing through and going to keep being in pain and going to keep running with a chance of it happening, even though she knows there is no chance. And so the song keeps going and keeps repeating and has this power of insistence and a determination. And that's all summed up in music. Like, you know, like the lyrics are obviously part of it, but like the feeling is in the music. I think even without the lyrics, you'd be able to feel that. And then the lyrics just hammer the point home, you know? It's amazing. Amazing. Like one of the best songs I've ever listened to. And it's crazy that I've only just properly sat down and listened to it, you know? And actually, now with the reference to the story of Stranger Things, it takes that even further, because that drama, that insistence, that, you know, okay, spoilers, this character gets captured by this evil person, and she's like in the Upside Down, and they use the power of this song, they use the insistence and the determination of this song to be the thing that breaks her from this curse and saves her life. And the way that they frame it with the drama of her having headphones and her up in the sky and it being right on the edge, and she's about to die in a horrific way, and she's running through this like land that is trying to kill her, and she has that insistence, she has that determination. And actually the parallels with her character, this character Max, her brother dies in the previous series, and it's her going through the trauma of her brother, and that also relates to this feeling that Kate Bush is talking about, of this idea that she would do anything to trade places with this person so that she didn't have this, you know, that she'd be able to save this person, but Max didn't get to save that person. And so there are all these kind of parallels, and it's just, I love when you can utilize the story of something else to tell another story in such a clever way, and the music is just perfect. It's like a kind of perfect storm of little things coming together. It's incredible writing, and I think that's why that scene is so powerful and has really got everybody everyone on the internet going mad over Kate Bush again. Just amazing. I'm just so blown away. Everything I've heard today has been like, she's an artist who has an instinct that links to music and emotion. She knows exactly what chords to play. She knows exactly what melody to sing, and it's instinctual. She does it. Even if it's not conventional, she still does it, and she manages to create these songs that are lasting the test of time because they are so instinctual and so close to the human experience. And every single time, it doesn't matter what topic she's talking about, she manages to match the music to the feeling, to the story, to the emotion, and it's perfection. So I know this is all ridiculous because I'm talking about an artist who is been around since the 70s. It feels amazing to really get it, to get why everyone's cared about Kate Bush all these years. Okay, if you have any song recommendations for me, more Kate Bush stuff, leave it in the comments. I would love to listen to, well, I'm probably going to listen to everything, but if there's anything specifically I have to listen to, then make sure to leave it in the comments for me. And if there are any other artists who I need to discover, then make sure to leave a comment about that as well. I did do Bjork recently, and that was an amazing experience as well. So make sure to check out that video if you fancy a bit of Bjork. And if not, yeah, just leave a comment and let me know who I should do next. Oh my god. Me. Okay, before we finish, a special thank you to my Weeping Wendy patrons. Those are the guys who are part of the second tier of the Patreon and who pledge a little bit of extra money for me. So thank you so much for your support. Those guys actually get their videos a week in advance, and they get them all completely uncut as well, unless it's a new album day, in which they get it earlier in the day. Yeah, so if you want to be part of the Weeping Wendy's and get your videos early, you can do so via the link on the screen. Cool. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I've just loved making it. I will be listening to Kate Bush on repeat. Cool. I'll see you next week, or I'll see you now for another video. Cool. Bye. Oh my god. Oh my god.